April 2nd, 2024. Man, dates have been throwing me off lately. Time is moving fast. It really doesn't seem that long ago that we were celebrating Christmas. Sorry, my cat is here. Want to say hi. I'm looking up how do you give someone a wrench on YouTube on a live stream session. I have no idea. If someone pops in tonight, maybe I'll try to give him a wrench. If someone would actually like a wrench, you know, someone might not. So, I have my blog up, and what I've been thinking about quite a bit is, well, I've been thinking about a lot of things quite a bit. Been thinking about uh, the Heart Center. You guys have heard me mention that. And which also ties into loving awareness, which is simply awareness. We put the loving in front of it because it sort of signifies that how deeply everything is accepted by awareness. By the ego? No. By the personality? No. We have all kinds of things we like, things we don't like. We have all kinds of biases, all kinds of judgments. That's the nature of the personality, the nature of the ego. The nature of the heart is one of loving awareness, and it has no bias, it has no judgment. It just accepts and accepts and accepts. When you can direct your attention, but you can't direct your awareness, because awareness is who we truly are when everything else is cleared. My friend Elise is here. Elise, how are you? Sorry that I was unable to say hi when you dropped by. I was deep in yogic sleep, yoga nidra, that space between wakefulness and falling asleep. That is really a deep healing place to be in. Really has become a deep part of my practice. Absolutely love it. As much as everything else that I do. I love it as much as my breath work, as much as my meditation. I've explained before that the 8 limbs of yoga, the 5th limb of yoga is pratyahara, which means withdrawal of the senses. We're so often, not even so often, all the time, conducting our life through the senses into the world. Senses put out, hearing, seeing, touching, tasting, smelling, as it should be. How else are we going to navigate through life? But how often do we take time to turn the senses within and cultivate a relationship with the interior self, what's going on inside, in order to get a really deep, deep rest? They say that 1 hour of yoga nidra is equivalent to 3 or 4 hours of actual sleep. Elise says, fantastic. Sorry I missed you, but I truly understand. You're such a phenomenal person. I'm grateful for you, and I respect every part of your daily walk. Thank you. I appreciate that. Most people just say it's weird, which it is, and it should be. Embrace weird stuff. Do weird things. Be a weird person. Those are the best. Life is full of regular people. It's also full of people who might attempt to be weird, but they lack the authenticity to actually do that. Because to be weird means to be authentic, authentically you, not putting up a front and trying to be anyone else at all. Not trying to get reactions from people. Man, I see a lot of that. People coming up specifically on YouTube who just want to get a reaction from you. I don't mind. They never get the one that they want, it seems. I don't mind engaging with those people at all, um, for the most part. It's a good practice for me, and it's a good practice for them as well. It's everything works out just the way it's supposed to. Um, so I've explained. I will go back to Yoga Nidra in a minute, but I've talked quite a bit um, about weird. WYRD, the original spelling. It's a Germanic spelling from the Germanic tribes, the Anglo-Saxon tribes um, that came into the Great Britain area, and they were shamans, shamanic people, at least. And the shamans would talk about weird as the actual universe being weird, meaning web, interconnected. If you tug on one string of the web, the entire universe vibrates, which we see. That's how synchronicities happen, meaningful coincidences. And because people would read the weird and get those synchronistic connections, um, and it could appear to regular people to be kind of spooky, then weird and spooky or weird and far out got that connection. And that's how it's sort of came into play in everyday language now. But I love the original intent. So I absolutely love being weird. It means I'm connected. It means you're connected. It means we're all connected with each other as well as the universe at large. What affects me affects the universe because there is no universe without me. There is no me absent from the universe. I love when I do my early morning walks. It's still dark outside, but sometimes the clouds will part and it'll just, everything is perfectly beautiful. Reach your hands up in the sky and look at the hands. There's no place where your hands, I got my hands up, there's no place where your hands leave off and the universe begins. There's no place where the universe leaves off and your hands begin. It's a seamless connection. There's no true edge. That's pretty weird. It means it's pretty connected. It's as connected as we can possibly get. Um, so yeah, be weird in every conceivable way. Do weird stuff. Cultivate weird habits. Um, my entire life is weird. Obviously, I'm here on YouTube talking about it. Um, Elise says, if you really like Yoga Nidra and had no idea that that was the origin. Yep, I actually only learned that about a year ago, and I've been talking about it ever since. Elise says, well, seamless connection. It's a powerful experience, being outside that early in the morning. Brahma Mutra. I might be mispronouncing it, as I do most things. Meaning the hour of God. Brahma. I absolutely love the term Brahma as well, now that I'm going off in words. Brahma just, it doesn't have the negative connotations that the label God has. Everyone has an opinion of God. Everyone has a belief of God. Everyone wants to argue. My version of God is better than your God. My version of God is the only God, and your version doesn't count. Brahma doesn't have any of that connection because Brahma incorporates everything, all gods, all versions. They simply don't exist within Brahma itself. The hour of Brahma is about, I believe it's about an hour and a half before sunrise and an hour after the sun comes up. And it's the holiest time of the day. It's, I got Google up. Man, I can Google this stuff all day long. There's so many beautiful poems and lines about that hour. But here's my favorite, and you guys probably heard me read this before. Rumi, Persian poet. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful writing. 1,000 years ago. His poem, Don't Go Back to Sleep. The breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. Don't go back to sleep. You must ask for what you really want. Don't go back to sleep. People are going back and forth across the door sill, where the two worlds touch. The door is round and open. Don't go back to sleep. Beautiful. This is when God is going to give you a wake-up call. Most of us ignore the wake-up call. Most of us hit the God snooze button and say, God, could you get back to me 8-ish, 8 a.m. after I have my cup of coffee? But if you don't respond, then that connection isn't there at 8 o'clock in the morning. It is, but you're not going to feel it. There's a veil that falls over us. Our friend Michael Robinson is here. Hey, I'm back. I don't know what WSG stands for. So, welcome back. If you want, you can let me know what WSG stands for. Or not. Either or. Oh, what is good? Thanks. That made sense. And you know what? If I thought about it for 2 or 3 days, maybe it would have occurred to me. But man, we don't have time for that. Brahmamutra, Muhurtra. I don't feel bad for mispronouncing Sanskrit words because I mispronounce English words. I'm an equal opportunist as far as mispronouncing things is concerned. So it begins 1 hour and 36 minutes before sunrise and ends 48 minutes after. Truly, truly a magical time. Get outside. You don't have to get outside. Wayne Dyer used to say, put 1 foot on the floor from your bed. Just to establish that intent and that connection that I'm making the effort. I want to feel that connection. Hey, our friend Relaxing is here. Thank you. I appreciate you being here, my friend. And Mike Robbins says, I'm making tacos. I will come back when I'm done. Enjoy the tacos, Michael. And I appreciate you coming back. So I was going to read about equanimity, as I mentioned. That's been playing through my mind a lot. But now we're talking about Mahutra. Let's talk about that. Maybe we'll read both. We'll see. So we're gonna Google stuff, and we're going to read some stuff. Sorry for the silence. One of the things about going live, doing live streams, is I've come to the conclusion we don't need to always fill the silences with my chattering. That hopefully you guys, 1, will enjoy the break from listening to me, but 2, we'll spend some time just in silence, in that gap in between words. I've actually talked quite a bit about the gap to our friend Elise, the gap being a glimpse into the ever-present silence that pervades everything. the truth of reality, because everything arises from that silence. If not, there'd just be one stream of words, one stream of sound. It'd be like trying to read a sentence or paragraph that had no spaces in between. Everything has a space because really there's no in between. There's just that silence. The gap is when we fall into between the thoughts, between the words. Um, so sometimes there'll be gaps in the conversation, and we'll sit there for a minute. No need to fill it. No need to make conversation. Conversation happens. We don't actually make it. We don't make the thoughts. They just occur spontaneously, effortlessly. At least said, I told my friends on the farm about your teaching me about the gap. It's a wonderful, wonderful experience to finally fall into the gap. So let's see if I can get this up. So here we go. I'm going to read Brahma Muhurta first. Lee says, and I love the experience of falling into the gap. That's what I love about mantra meditation, is it makes it effortless. We're not seeking, we're not trying to achieve fall into the gap. We know that it's ever present, so we rely on the mantra, on the vibration of the mantra itself, to simply occupy the mind as we fall into the gap. The more you try, the more you concentrate or use focus or any kind of intent on the mantra, the less you'll fall into the gap. It needs to be easy, effortless, no force applied whatsoever. So this was written December 23rd, and it is about the Brahma Muhurta. Muhurta. Again, I'm going to mispronounce it every single time. Brahma Muhurta. It's considered God's hour. Brahma Muhurta, a most auspicious period for the performance of any holy deed. This is my time to meditate. A gentle routine of yoga displayed through sun salutation and just a few asanas to wake my body to the arrival of the morning light. Perhaps of highest importance, to my emotional benefit at least, this is when I receive my most inspired words, as if the soft whisper of the universe is heard clearest at this hour. And who's to say it isn't? This is actually a fluid time, not set to a particular point, but ranging from an hour and 36 minutes before sunrise and lasting 48 minutes total. Although I've heard different time frames, this one seems to be the most consistent. It's said that this is when prana, life force, is most powerful. We're able to channel it for our creative and physical needs. I actually wake earlier than this, as if preparing for these hours, readying my mind, body, and spirit to receive the divine whispers of the morning. When Brahma Muhurta arrives, I am ready to receive. Lately, this has been my request for healing, using the motion of yoga, writing, and walking as a prayer, spending the most auspicious point of time in communion with nature. What I'm learning to do is listen, not to any particular thing, but to every soft stir of wind and creak of branches, hearing the prowl or scamper of animals in the edge of brush, and mostly listening to silence, being the purest expression of these holy hours. And that seems to be the answer to my every deepest prayer. That, again, that was written last December. I literally have been called from bed to get up and meditate, to do my yoga, and to get outside. Um, there's no consideration of even going back to sleep at that point. Right now, it's just about 2:30 that I am up and going about my real business, my serious business, the thing that right now I'm meant to do. And that is, as I mentioned, I'm up, breath work, meditation, yoga, writing, outside, get outside in nature before the sun comes up, but just getting that ambient light. And I talk so often um, about the importance of getting that early morning sunlight to the eyes, what it does health wise for us, resetting the circadian rhythm, giving us energy, and creating the hormones that we need to face the day, as well as those same hormones die off throughout the course of the day and are turned into, they're used to make melatonin and serotonin, the very same hormones we need to relax and go to sleep that night. Lisa says, beautiful, thank you. I read that not too long ago, so it's a double. But since we were talking about it, um, so yeah, that time in nature, and it's a ancient Vedic path of self-realization, of God realization, being out in nature, not trying to do anything. That's such a big thing, and that's told through every spiritual tradition. It's the deep meaning of be still and know that I am God. It's why Krishna tells Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, there is no doer, and you are only entitled to your actions, not the fruit of your actions, as well as in the Tao Te Ching, when they say there is no doer. There's only the doing itself. It's a hard concept to understand because it's not a concept. It's the actuality. We deal with the mind deals with concepts. Um, but reality is without concept. Stephen Ortez says, give us an afternoon stinker. Man, it's evening for me. It's after 5:30 for me. 5:30 in the evening. If you wanted an afternoon stinker, I had an entire afternoon session. You could have showed up and asked for it. I would have seen what I could do. But now, man, it's too late. I apologize. You can't switch, Stephen. You can't come here and ask for one thing and then just turn around and say, I want something else. That's not fair. I wouldn't do that to you. It's all about timing, my friend. It's all about timing. You got to get here and put in your request for what you want when you want it. So, man, I apologize. I would have loved to help. I would have loved to help you out. You're the second person 2 days in a row who's asked for that, and it makes me wonder when people click on the live link. Stephen, when you came here and you clicked on it, did you think this guy looks particularly gassy? I bet he's cocked and loaded and ready to let loose. If so, you are mistaken. But you know what? If you hang around and something comes up, I'll give you a shout out and let you know. Stephen is asking for, can we get a late night rattler? Again, Stephen, your timing is all wrong. It's 5:30 in the evening. It would need to be like a dinner time, an early evening. But again, I like to think that I'm open-minded and I'll take every consideration as a possibility. So I'm not saying no. I'm just saying not right now. Um, hey, our friend Noble is here. Love you, brother. I can't stay because I am announcing a baseball game. Everyone like and subscribe to this amazing man. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you being here, stopping by. Have a good game. And hey, is this going to be, are you going to have that live? Because if you guys want to hear an awesome uh, announcing voice, go visit Noble's channel and listen to him. Regardless, go visit Noble's channel anyway for a really good time, just to hang out. And hey, Steven, I'm willing to bet if you were to ask Noble for a midday stinker, he might actually see what he could do for you. One of the most accommodating channels I've ever been to. His only goal, wants to make you happy, wants to fill you with joy. So at least as something comes up. Relaxing says that, and this is a psychological to attack people. Perfect, my friend. Thank you. You know what? I never feel attacked. If I'm feeling attacked, it's because my ego is responding to what's going on. And Steven just seems like someone who wants to have a good time, come by, make me smile. You know, pretty funny. I always say, if you're going to come in, I'm not saying Steven was trolling, but just to use it as an expression, if you're going to come by and troll, be funny, make me laugh, make me smile, make everyone laugh. You have at least laughing. So, and be clever. And Steven came in and he made me laugh. That's not a bad thing. If you can make someone laugh, you know, laughter truly is. Dr. Norman Cousins healed himself from cancer, laughing, watching funny movies. Let's see. Hey, our friend Odom Shorts is here. Odom, how are you? Hey, I meant to ask you how your workouts are going. And since I see the Odom Shorts, and that's usually what you post your workouts on, it reminded me. Elise said, I did visit Noble's channel. Great channel. Yeah, he's a good guy. He is, he's someone who's on a mission to make people happy. And I truly, truly appreciate that. As are you guys. Steven says, any stickers yet? No. It did try, but I started getting a headache, so I had to let it go. Odom says that he's okay. How's the garden coming along? Odom says, I haven't been posting much on here, kind of burnt out. Yeah, that can happen. Phil Scott is here, saying hi. Hey, Phil, how are you, my friend? Steven says you just got a new subscriber. Hey, thank you, Steven. I appreciate that. I feel like I didn't earn it, though. You know? I feel like if you're going to subscribe, I should have gave you exactly what you asked for. And like I said, I tried. I think I had a blood vessel burst in my eye. Man, I don't know. I apologize. So honestly, I don't take anything as an interruption. I don't take anything as None of it messes with the flow because we're just talking. We're talking about whatever comes up. And a lot of people think you talk a lot about meditation, you talk a lot about yoga, you talk a lot about spirituality, Buddhism, the Tao, um, everything. How can you pivot in that direction and talk about having an extended conversation with a new friend about farting? Because that's life. And life is as sacred as everything. You know, you talk about it all. Steven says, don't strain too hard now. I appreciate the concern. Odin said, did just post a sound on here. Okay. And Relaxing says, will we have more subscribers? I'm there. Thank you. Relaxing, you've been a really good friend to me. Steven says, what's the technique for burpees? I'm new to them. You know what? My burpee friend Paul from Oregon put up a follow along video, which is perfect. So if you look for Paul from Oregon, but simply put, and really you sort of have to see it to understand, but I'll do my best to describe it. The slight bend to the knees as you bend forward. Your hands go into the plank position. You kick your legs back and you're in that push-up position. You go down, you do a full push-up, and then in one motion, you spring back up in the squat position and you stand. And it's done in a really seamless and explosive movement. Great, great exercise. I recommend doing them in your basement. Not for any particular reason. Writing says, because I like to be helped, my friend. And you are a huge help. I really appreciate it. Song I meant. Okay. I mean, I have to be sure to check that out. Always enjoy hearing you sing. Mocha says, sorry I'm late in my online class. Yeah, I thought that was probably what was going on. Steven says, gotcha. Thank you, sir. You're welcome, my friend. Start easy. Really, you could start with a 20-minute session, but just don't try to see how many you can get in 20 minutes. Even if you did one rep every minute for 20 minutes, you'd get a workout. And in between the reps of burpees, you could jog in place, or you could do jumping jacks, or you could do a squat, and then you do a burpee. Really good exercise, full body, everything is worked. Relaxing says, this is only a start. You will see soon my opinion for the true heart help for me, because I want from me my heart. Man, I love the expression heart help. We talk quite a bit about the heart center here. And the Sanskrit word, hydrium, again, I'm pronouncing it wrong, which literally means heart reality, heart center. That is where the true intelligence, that's the intelligence of the universe in the heart. The brain thinks and directs, but it's the heart that has the intelligence. It's the heart that knows. And if you listen, if you put your hand on your heart and you ask, is this right? Or as Carlos Castaneda would have you ask, does this path have a heart? Before you're about to do anything, you get very quiet, very still, and ask yourself, does the path I'm about to take have a heart? You'll get your answer. Your body will respond. Your heart, the energy, you'll feel it. Steven says, I will incorporate that. Hey, let me know how it goes, and let me know if you need any help or encouragement. And we're happy. Everyone here will be happy. If you come in sometime on an afternoon session, we got some truly great burpee practitioners, people who do outrageous numbers, outrageous, it is what it is, Brian Lane. These guys are animals. Odom says, I don't get to do too many floor workouts these days. These dogs think it's playtime when I get on the floor. Yeah, I got a photo on my Facebook page of Misty, the Pomsky dog, I was doing my yoga, and she is down doing her yoga too. And I have a cat that believes my yoga mat is meant for her and her alone. Let's see, relaxing says, this is for my heart health. It's not hard to do if you're straight, true, and trusted with you. I agree. 100%. So I just Googled up the Hydrium meaning heart center. Um, it does not help me pronounce it any better than I did. So yeah, I think almost every day for the past couple weeks, I've been talking about that heart center, letting it guide you. I don't think anyone could truly say that they're completely happy with what's going on in the world right now. Fighting, the bickering, the political discord, all kinds of stuff. Just it's unsettled. That's the product of the thinking mind. Now think of the great spiritual teachers of the world and what they say. That Jesus teaches the path with heart. Jesus teaches love. Jesus tells you where to find heaven. The kingdom of heaven is within. Our friend Flower is here. And hi, am I late? Flower, you are never late. It is what it is. Hey, YouTube family. Hey, I was just talking about you. Like just a minute ago. Our friend Steven was asking about how to do burpees. I told him Paul from Oregon has a great new intro on doing burpees. Really great explanation. And I said he should visit in an afternoon session when we have some of the burpee greats stop in. And I can't say burpee great without mentioning it is what it is. Top tier burpee practitioner, the true animal. Let's see. So as I was saying, Flower, you are absolutely never late. It's always the perfect time when you show up. Relaxing says 99%. Fake friends, 1%. Really, I know you after 5 years experience to my channel. I know after 5 years experience to my channel. I could see that. Hopefully we can change that. Hopefully we can make everyone a friend in some way. Odom says the devil's winning right now in this world. Man, Odom, I can't argue with that. It's a mess. And everything's a reason to argue or debate or fight about something. Everything. No matter what someone says, someone else is going to come along and contradict you, and not just contradict you, but want to prove that you're wrong for no other reason other than that way they can feel like they're right. But again, every teacher talks about the difference of thinking and intuiting. If we learn to live and act and be guided by that heart center, we wouldn't have this mess. We couldn't, because the heart center is our connection. And we can know when you're in that space, and truly there is no other space unless we think otherwise. And that's really telling, unless we think otherwise. Remember, William Shakespeare said, nothing is good nor bad unless thinking makes it so. That heart center shows us our connection. So you can no more hurt someone than you could hurt yourself, because truly, you would be hurting yourself. It is what it is says there's only one way to do burpees. You know what? That's so true. There's infinite ways of expressing them, but only one way of doing them. No matter if you're adding in the jump or the rocking chair, that's all just a different expression of the one basic movement that we all love. Odom says, hey, to it is what it is. And Lewis says, and that's to simply start. That's the hardest thing for most people, getting in that first rep. Elise says, hi to everyone. Thank you, Elise. You know what? I'm going to do a little experiment. At least I made you, I just figured out how to make someone a manager. I didn't figure it out. Someone told me how to do it the other day. Goldie told me how to do it. I'm not sure if that worked though. Relaxing says, why some people, friends, don't give like only me, and shared me his question. Yeah. Relaxing, you know, my friend, I don't have the answers to that. I think people do the best that they can. It's the whole basis of yoga psychology, is people just don't know that they're under that veil of ignorance. And I don't mean ignorance as by being unintelligent, but ignorance that they simply don't know that they're reacting to the attractions, the attachments, the aversions, to the fear that's in their minds. And that's what thinking does. Thinking isn't wrong. It's a wonderful tool. But if we rely on it, interpreting reality for us, we're always going to be wrong. The heart is that heart center, that energy, life essence, prana, is what steers us right. Flower says, thank you, Eric. You're welcome, my friend. And thank you for being here. Elise says, sorry for my delay hitting like button. That is okay. I appreciate it when you do. Oh, you know what? I am supposed to say, remembering our good friend, Destiny Forever Walks PhD, who's on vacation for 9 days, and who never fails to say, please hit the like button. Never once has she failed to say that in the months of me going live. Several times. And I told her that I would do my best to remember to say it. So, my friends, please hit the like button. If you're of mind, you could share it out. But, you know, hey, I think everyone that counts is already here. Or they're coming. Or they'll be here. Relaxing says, only one like thumbs for me. You have them. I appreciate that. Allow Flower says, real friends are like diamonds. That's absolutely beautiful. Rare and valued. Fake friends are like autumn leaves. They're everywhere. Quote. Who? What quote is that? That's beautiful. It is what it is. Says 4 likes. I appreciate that. Odom says, have a blessed day, everyone. Thank you, Odom. I want to make sure that I check out your short that you put up. Do not want to forget that. Elise says, yeah, I just accepted. So that's how you do a wrench. So anyone who wants to subscribe to Elise, you can click and connect with her. Elise is my manager again, says Mocha. She is. She's the boss. But you know what? We all know that I'm not going to listen to her any better this time than I did when she was my actual boss. And she was a good boss. She got stuff done, and everyone really liked her. Electing says, you don't need my friend, me, I understand, you and all. This is true. Kaylin Valley. It's a really pretty name. Hi, I'm new. Well, I appreciate you being here. Lisa's laughing at Mocha. Joel Gaming H is here. Hi, everyone. Hey, Joel, how are you? Kaylin is Kaylin, right? Says she's new. Well, we appreciate you being here. We're just talking, having a conversation. Feel free to, if you have a question or anything you want to add, I do my best to read everything and keep up. It is what it is, says Mocha wants her a wrench, Eric. I've considered, now that I know how to do it, giving Mocha a wrench because she's tough. She does not put up with any nonsense whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I think if I gave Mocha a wrench, she would be very likely to kick me out of the conversation, as I'm a disrupting influence for everyone. Elise says, I was going to say, in honor of Destiny, let's hit the like button. She knows how to get it done. It is what it is, says Sister Destiny 2. Now that I know how to do it, of course I'll have to ask her. But she definitely deserves a wrench. She has kept the conversation flowing on most occasions. Relaxing says, you visit Romania? I think we have 3 or 4 people from Romania who stopped by. That would be awesome. Our friend, who was it? Who was it who's Hungarian, but living in Romania, from Hungarian descent? Elise says, yes, Mocha deserves that wrench. Mocha said that she's good. I don't need a wrench. I'm not sure if arming Mocha is always a good idea. Relaxing says, Romania, a beautiful place. Nice, my country. I'm waiting to go back. I hope it's soon for you, my friend. I've read not too long ago, Romania actually has a fairly substantial bear population, brown bear population, which is a slightly different species of brown bear than North America has. Lee says, that's a fact, Eric. Nobody is the boss of you. Yeah. I have not handled discipline very well in my life, I can honestly say. It is what it is, says French. Yeah, I know. I try to, if possible, I try to, because it's so hard typing on these little devices. I try to interpret when I see a typo. Chill Gaming says, "Hi Eric, doing good, buddy. Good, glad to hear it. How's the gaming going?" Elise is laughing. It is what it is laughing. Flower says, "I rarely use my real life name, and it feels weird when I see it as my user." Originally my channel was my name, and then in a moment's inspiration, just a Yogi doing burpees in his basement was born, and people have been laughing at me ever since. Mocha says, "Nah, it's more fun that way." True. Relaxing says, "Draw fun." Mocha says, "I have more steered the chat in odd directions than I hoped it flow." I'm not sure if we have odd directions in the chat. Every direction is kind of odd. So your oddness fits in perfectly. Relaxing says, "Yeah." Vest. And Mocha says, "Oh Lord, he's talking about bears now." I have a fondness for bears. It's a family history. One day I'll tell the story of my father being chased up a tree by a bear up in Pennsylvania. And I was with Mocha when she saw her first bear. And we had a bear wander through my neighborhood last year. Hopefully again this year. Lewis says Mocha too funny. For many, many years, Mocha has put up with the directions of my conversations. Bears, I get these weird things where I need to know if the moose population of Rhode Island is expanding. And I'll spend an hour seeing how the moose population of every state that has mooses, moosei, how they're doing. Same with bears, same with beavers, owls. I make no apologies for my weirdness, as Elise and I were talking about earlier. Relaxing says everyone needs to be. I absolutely agree 100% with relaxing. Everyone needs to be. Hey, Amoko was out wandering the neighborhood with me, looking for the bear. So she has her deep love of bears as well. Chill Games, I have a game this week. Busy. Probably tomorrow, we'll see. Well, if you go live tomorrow for a game, we'll definitely drop by. Spend some time there. I've grown to, and I know Noble talked about this. I've come to really enjoy the gaming channels, and I wouldn't have thought that I would at all. But as I mentioned before, anything that people enjoy, anything that people put their heart in, and it lifts them up, gives them a sense of peace for the day, which is not always guaranteed. As we mentioned earlier, life can be extremely difficult at times. It can be stressful. We all need something to help us. And what surprised me was you get that secondhand joy from a good gaming channel. Chill was one of them. Definitely visit his page, his channel. I mentioned before in meditation, They talk about the Maharishi effect, specifically transcendental meditation. But my tradition, it's only slightly different than transcendental meditation. It's from the same meditation Vedic yogic ocean, just a different stream. The Maharishi effect means that, let's say one person in your household meditates, the entire household benefits from that meditation. The vibrational quality of the house has been lifted. There's less stress, a little more joy. People are a little happier. If 1% of a given population meditates, then the entirety of that population benefits, has a lower crime rate. People are happier, more successful, less stress. When you go to someone's channel who is having fun and they're welcoming, you step into that vibrational field, that vibrational force. You're pulled in and you're happier. You're more peaceful. You're more content. You're given an experience of joy for however long you're there, because that's what they're immersed in, the joy of what they're doing. Every gaming channel, probably not, but the ones that I follow, definitely. Smitty Deuces 187, Chol Gaming H, definitely spend some time on their channels. Relaxing says it's good for the metabolism. It certainly is. It is what it is. It's careful giving Mocha a real wrench. Yeah, experience. Actually, for someone who is seriously tough, and Mocha is, because I've seen her gut out a 50-mile race. I've seen her gut out a 100K race. And I seriously gut out where her first 50-miler ended up actually being 50 plus. They rerouted it. They didn't tell anyone until the end. She finished after dark. Oh, actually, one 50-miler where we had to climb hand over hand at least 20 feet of a root system straight up. She did it by herself in the middle of the night, second time, because we had loops. And of course, 22 plus years in the military, 23 years in the military. I know she's going to correct me. But for someone who is that tough, she's not a harsh, violent person at all. She has probably one of the most caring hearts that I have had the privilege of experiencing. And despite what people might think, she too has a deep, abiding love of bears. So don't let her critique of my bear love fool you guys. So Flower says, my real name is Jewel. Wow, that's a pretty name. And I guess it's quite rare because I don't have anyone else named Jewel in my school. It's a pretty name. It's good to have that unique and pretty name. Erics are a dime a dozen. Everyone's named Eric nowadays. Relaxing says, let's try, my friend, with yoga. Funny laugh to come more friends to you. I think so. Oh, hey, going forwards, not backwards. That's a great name too. I just found you again and have resulted you was Dottie Door. Hello, Dottie. How are you? I appreciate you finding me again. Does this mean that am I still subscribed to you? Is this a new channel, or is it still the same but just a different name? Because I definitely want to make sure that we're connected. Relaxing says, my friend put some hashtags in the description. Okay. I usually do on my regular videos. I don't do it for live. But you're saying that I should? Going forward, Dottie says, I put my heart and soul into my camper van. It brings me great joy. And you know what? I really love it was just a little while ago. I was watching you do some work, or you were getting some work done on your camper van. I'd love to have a camper van. It'd be absolutely awesome. Relaxing says, I give you opportunities in my messaging for my help with pleasure. I appreciate that. And going forward says, great listening to your talks. That also brings me joy. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And I aspire to be that type of channel. I aspire to that Maharishi effect, that when I come here, regardless as if I'm talking about meditation or yoga or anything, that it's going to be such a free and loving place that people are going to be lifted up. And of course, the people here already add to that as well. So it becomes a powerful force. All of us, not just lifting each other up, but whoever pops in as well. Yes, it's a small percentage here, but as I was talking to my friend Elise at the beginning of the conversation, I was talking about the origins of the word weird, W-Y-R-D, of course now spelled differently, meaning web, connection. And you can't tug on one strand of the web without the entire web vibrating. That's the universe. So we have a few people here, everyone lifting each other up, but it vibrates outwards, and the entire YouTube universe is affected. And then people walk away from YouTube, and they got that little bit of joy in their heart, and life is just a little easier. Sometimes all we need is a little easier. Because, man, that could be the thing that keeps us going. I've met people, I think we all have, who haven't had that little bit of easier in their lives. And it's sad. It's heartbreaking. Mocha says, and true, it is what it is. I shouldn't be trusted with a real wrench. Because you know what she would do with a real wrench? She would go around, this is her military training, she would go around and tighten every loose bolt. Or maybe she would loosen all the tight bolts. I don't know. That's why she doesn't get a wrench, because she's a loose cannon. We just don't know what she would do with a wrench. We can't take that chance. It could be havoc. Relaxing says, like friends, come on up. Thank you. And at least the newly appointed manager with the wrench, you do not want to mess with the girl that has the wrench. Thank you for relaxing. Thank you so much for your help. You are appreciated. It certainly is. Troll says, it's true. I have trolls sometimes that come in with bad intentions, and instead of banning them or ignoring them, I try to turn their comments to something positive or welcome them to laugh with me. That's important. That, I've been talking so much tonight, almost every night, about that heart center. Loving awareness being the reality. Loving awareness doesn't discriminate. It doesn't have a bias. It doesn't say you're welcome, but you're not. You're funny, but you're not. It's just welcomed and welcomed and welcomed. It doesn't mean that sometimes you don't take a hard stance. You know, if someone was in here um, insulting, not to me, but to people here, then you got to take a hard stance. But people coming in wanting to be funny, I can appreciate that. I come from, as Mocha will attest, I've been just a little bit, slightly, um, a smartass at times in my life. Just a little bit. Not really sarcastic, a little bit of a smartass. So I can truly appreciate someone coming in and wanting to be a smartass. This says, hi friends, hit the like button if you like. Thumbs up. Thank you. Troll Gaming says, it's surprising, works a lot. It does. And it's all because you got to be unattached from, it's not like you're trying to make them whatever. You just open, friendly, welcoming, and laughing with them. And that's what changes. That's what changes everything. That's the nature of Tantric Buddhism. You take that base level of whatever's offered, that raw material of what's given to you, and you channel it upwards. Now, in Tantric Buddhism, you channel it up the spine, the energy, pranic energy, up the spine, through the chakra system, connecting you to the divine. You're using it, the energy, you're refining it. You're taking it and you're reconnecting it to love. You're reconnecting it to the divine. And everything changes through that awareness. Mocha says, Mohican. Yep, Mohican. And then, of course, your first 50-miler ever, Stone Mill, which was an incredibly tough race. Not to mention your first 50K. I have no idea why you decided to run a 50K when the most you had ever done was a half marathon. But you're stubborn that way. I don't know. I believe, if my memory serves, I tried to talk you out of doing it. I tried to talk some common sense and said, hey, work your way up. Don't just go from a half marathon to a 50-miler. Do a couple marathons in between. But nope. She had to do things her own way. Mocha says 23.5 years. Yep, I apologize. I did say 22. And I know how important those years actually are to you. Years of service. Years of service to your country, to a high ideal, to wanting to make the world a safer and better place. Not to mention a tour in Iraq. It's pretty big. Relaxing says, thanks, my friend. Beautiful pleasure to see you. I am out, my friend. God bless you all, beautiful friends. Thank you for relaxing. I really appreciate that. 23 years, 5 months, and 19 days. Elise says Mocha is a real one. One of the strongest and most authentic souls I've ever met. A force to be reckoned with. This is all true. Elise says, relaxing says, Elise, thanks. My pleasure to do. Going forward says, Eric's a good name. Eternal Ruler. Thank you. Didn't know a whole lot of Eric's growing up. As a matter of fact, I think it was probably high school when I met the first other Eric. I always liked it. I always liked my name. Mocha says that she loves bears. You are obsessed with bears. Obsessed is a strong word. I have a high level of curiosity. for the bears of the world. Particularly, the bears might wander down here, and hopefully there'll be at least one or two. We live about 45 minutes to an hour of the nearest bear population, stable bear population, 2 counties over, in the mountains right by the Appalachian Trail. Done some really good races out there, really tough races. If anyone's ever spent any time on the Appalachian Trail, specifically in the mid-Atlantic area, it's extremely rocky, lots of roots. The trails aren't easy to run on, let alone hike, or vice versa. So when it happens more often now. It used to be Pennsylvania and Virginia all have bear populations, and the mother bear, when she has new cubs or getting ready to have new cubs, she chases the yearling away. So he or she, usually it's a he, goes out to establish a new territory. So they'll wander through here, but they'll usually just keep on wandering. But now that we have a larger bear population, 2 counties away, again, maybe about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, they're more likely to wander down in this area. A couple times, maybe once a year between May and July, we'll get anywhere from 1, sometimes up to 10 sightings in the area. Absolutely love when that happens. It's a auspicious occasion just to know that we have one here, as it is seeing any other animal. We've had some really close encounters with hawks, with owls lately, Mocha and I on our walks. One hawk literally landed on a branch feet away from us and just allowed Mocha, I should say, to take some wonderful photos. And I always think the only word that I can use is auspicious. Everything had to be perfectly right. We had to leave the house at this specific time. The hawk had to arrive at that branch right then in order for us to have that moment. You can really see that connection. You can really see how beautiful that all is, how everything works out just that way, just so perfectly, to show you how everything's connected. Nothing's removed. That opens up everything when you realize that. When you realize that those auspicious occasions are simply showing you the way, showing you the connection, and that you're never truly, truly alone. You're always here in the world, immersed in life. Relaxing says about 3 maximum. In regards to, I'm not sure. Going forwards, not backwards, says this is a new channel. Okay, I'm going to write that down. I don't want to forget. I want to make sure that I subscribe. Hey, have you had any new adventures in your camper van? Oh, okay. Relaxing says entitle together 3 or 4. The thing is, I never know what I'm going to talk about, and I heard that you have. It should be related. Your hashtag should be related to the topic in order to be effective. So that's why I've never done hashtags live, but I do it on all my other stuff. Flower, Jewel, would you rather we call you Flower, or you want us to use your name now? Because both are pretty, I think. I'm pretty sleepy. I'm going to head out, and I enjoyed this, but I wasn't able to pay attention that much. That's okay, because I kept dozing off. Good night. Bye. Happy Tuesday. You too, my friend. I will see you tomorrow if everything works out. Going forward says I'll be doing a lot of work on my van over the next 9 months, and I will upload the updates as I go along. Looking forward to seeing it. The great Ambini, am I saying that right? Saying hello. Hello, my friend. How are you? Appreciate you being here. And Relaxing says, I'll come. Okay, all my beautiful friends. Nice to join you, my friends and friends. Thanks all. Bye. Take care, my friend. I'll be calling it a night soon. Another couple minutes. And let's see. Mocha said, yes, Boeing would have to hire me if I had a wrench. Might not be a bad job. What's the old saying? You give a girl a wrench and she'll wrench for a day. If you teach a girl to wrench, I don't know how that goes. Lacting says, my pleasure, my friend. Thank you again. Like a pumpkin. I do like pumpkins, as a matter of fact. Going forward says there's too much negativity on the internet. Some people like to insult behind an anonymous keyboard. Yeah, sadly, we have experienced that. I just keep trying to do my best of approaching it from that point of awareness and not from ego. It's always my ego that's offended. It's always my ego that says, don't do that, do this, or whatever. But if I can approach it from that heart center, there's always the possibility of things changing. Mocha says, hi, he is a born smartass and his skills are constant use and very sharp. It doesn't sound like me, actually. I think he might be confused. Some other guy named Eric. Lucas McCarty said that was your fault. I'm not sure that was my fault. I don't recall suggesting that to you. She says, you're right. He made me run a 50K before I did a marathon. I think I might have suggested, if anything, you think how encouraging and how much faith I had in you. Mocha says, not accustomed to being called tough and all these nice words about me. Thanks. Well, to describe you as an ultra runner, that's the word. That's the only word I could use. Because you are, I guess I could use the word persistent, but persistent doesn't tell the whole story. Been in some really hard races. And I think about forget the PR 50K, when they were going to pull you from the race because you looked so bad. And in about a 5-mile stretch, you had a complete turnaround, and the people who were originally going to pull it from the race said, you're like a different runner. Elise says, Eric, do the bears love you? Just asking. I think bears appreciate me. They appreciate my admiration. Eric Lapointe is here. There's no America without an Eric. Hey, I really like that. Thank you, Eric. How are you, my friend? Mocha says, obsessed is a strong word and it suits you. Didn't you track bear populations? Everyone needs a hobby of some sort. My hobbies are just a little peculiar. Uh, Going forward says, I have to go, my friend. I'll be back to you next live. Thank you. I appreciate that. Take care, everyone, and keep being the lovely, humble people that you are. Thank you. Um, and I will be on your new channel shortly. Thanks again. Blackling says, bye, my friend. Have a nice day and night to beautiful people. It's probably time for me to go as well. I have to do my night preparation, which is breath work, um, spiritual reading. It's a weird thing to call it, but that's what it is. Um, I don't want to read things that draw me in. I like reading fiction. I like reading all kinds of books. Um, but if I read it before night, it becomes a page turner and you want to keep going. Um, when I read things that I've been reading for decades, the Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishads, Yoga Sutras, Siva Sutras, um, Zoha, things along those lines, um, you're absorbing those words and you take them with you deep in sleep where they act. They become a little force, an intent, a seed that's planted, and sleep is watering it. And when you wake up the next day, you have that energy with you. Highly recommend it. Whatever books inspire you. And it doesn't have to be, a holy text. It um, could be the prophet. It could be um, anything that has that higher ideal that you would like, an archetype that you would like to implement, that energy within your life. Lisa saying, take care. It's relaxing. And Mocha says, the bears do love him, but they're not sure about me. Nah, I think all the animals love Mocha. Relaxing to stand by. Eric says, hawks follow me around on the farm, waiting for me to kick out mice to grab it. It's a cool thing when they follow me around on my tractor, grabbing mice. Huh. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Smart birds. Man, and majestic is truly, truly the word for them. We've had a couple eagles in the area. Might have seen one. Maybe not. But they are here. A couple friends have had some photos of them. Always love when they come through. And of course, if there is an obsession going on, my entire winter has been spent early in the morning tracking owls by sound. I hear them and I reroute my walks to find the tree. Of course, when I was doing this, I didn't realize certain times of the year they can be quite aggressive, and they don't like hats with little balls on top, which I don't wear anyway, but it's still a good thing to know. It's good information. Eric is saying hi to Elise. Elise is saying hi to Eric. Eric, Elise was actually asking about you because she's wanting to subscribe to some of the channels here, that people who come and make a difference, people that come who just got that good vibe to them, and you are one of them, my friend. The Great Enemy said this was really chill stream, and I enjoyed just vibing here and listening. I've got to head out, but I hope you have a good night, rest of your night and day. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you coming, and I really appreciate that comment. We're going to be calling it a night here as well. Relaxing says, for example, for you, birds, yoga, relax, support, subscribe. 5, I give you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I will remember that. As a matter of fact, in one of my many, many notebooks that I leave lying around, for all good ideas, I will have that. Because this thinks that's awesome. Yeah, it really is. Um, Man, I love the people who come here. They, every single one of you, have made such a difference in my life, such a difference in my channel. It makes it a pleasure um, to come here and to expand, to offer more conversation. That's all it is, you know. We're talking about the things that are meaningful to us, moment to moment, day by day. So, with that, Lisa says, I took note. I appreciate that, Elise. Um, Thank you again, my friends. This has been a really fun conversation. I've enjoyed it. Uh, Eric says at school, I appreciate that. I don't really know how this channel stuff works, but I'll look into it. Yeah, it's a nice way to stay connected. And I definitely like the people who've come here and add so much to these conversations. And Eric, you certainly have. And I appreciate that. It's nice to find a way to offer some support in return. So, all right. With that, guys, I'm going to say goodnight. Be back tomorrow. We'll do the live afternoon session. Someday I'm going to have to do my burpee workout live and see how that goes. Eric says, have a great night. And thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. Elise, as always, I'm certainly glad that I gave you the wrench. Well deserved. Relaxing. The great Amabine. I will get that right eventually. Thank you. Going forward, thank you for reconnecting again. I really appreciate that. It is what it is. Thank you very much. Always a pleasure to have you here. And of course, Mocha. I will not forget Mocha. Would be impossible. Troll Gaming H. Thank you. I look forward. Hopefully, I will see you go live tomorrow. I get to spend some time there. Stephen, my friend. Well, Michael Robinson, who went out for tacos. Well, he was making tacos, and he never came back. So I'm going to guess that those are some really good tacos. Stephen Ortez, thanks for coming in. You really did make me laugh. You really did make me smile. I appreciate that. So, guys, I'll see you tomorrow.